Shalom.
Shalom.
Welcome to another live class with Stream of Wisdom, Priest Qatazap. It's Wednesday, 7:13 p.m. Where are your children? No, I'm playing. You remember that commercial? Where are your children? No, but thank you all for joining us once again. Definitely appreciate it. All of our school information, as usual, is inside of the description of the video, so you can check that out. Like if you want to donate, to help out with anything, all that information, the Cash App, everything is there. Also, for our other schools, their locations and their different channels that are, different social media handles, everything is in the description of this video and all the other previous videos. So make sure you check that description out to get all the info. Our kids class, school in VA, school in San Antonio, school in Rochester, our Instagram, TikTok, even our different businesses. If you'd like to support our businesses, Sweet Ambiance or Chosen Creations, you can check for all that inside of the description, all the links. You live, Charlamagne? You live, man? I see you popping up, man. There he is. There he is. Right, we are live. So yeah, if you'd like to help out, with anything, yeah, we definitely apologize for the delay. Satan tries to hop inside your electronics. Stop you from putting these classes out. So, for everybody online, shalom. Shalom to brothers out there in San Antonio, brothers in Albuquerque, VA, Rochester, and to just all the other schools that's doing the right things, man. Teaching brothers and sisters sincerely, building up our people, not doing things for vainglory, not doing everything for the camera, right? But really sacrificing and really putting themselves out there for the nation. It's a lot of trying times. It's rough. It's rough in these streets. It's rough financially for a lot of people. It's definitely rough spiritually for a lot of people, for a lot of our people. So, just a shout out to the brothers and sisters that are patiently putting themselves on the line to be an example for those that need it. So, I can name schools and brothers and camps, but you know who you are, right? You know who you are, you know what you're doing. So, and time is the thing that shows what your works are, or what type of works you're building, the trials, the fire that we go through. So just wanted to say that. For everyone else, y'all see the title of the class. And the title of this class is Hello, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Barakatah how we appreciate. What they say, there's no you without us. Yeah, there's no me for us if brothers and sisters ain't pulling up to listen. So, definitely a thank you to y'all for tuning into these classes. And these classes are needed. Not everybody's doing these classes. A lot of brothers, because you got certain things, certain schools, they want to just talk about geopolitics and revelations and not really give anything by way of spiritual edification to households, marriage classes, you know, inward man classes. Those are very important. Because if not, then when Revelations hit, you ain't gonna know what to do. You ain't gonna know how to handle yourself. So, again, thank y'all for tuning in. So the title of this class is Marrying an Israelite Man. Question: who is this class going to be more geared towards? Women, right? Single sisters, right? You marry sisters, it's too late. You already married them. He already entangled you. No, I'm so funny. I'm joking. He already trapped you, right? He already got you. But this is the thing. The way this class is it's for brothers too, because what I'll be trying to highlight, and hopefully I do a good job of it, is the standard, what a woman should be looking for inside of a man before she lays down with him, before she calls her hubby, my boo thing, before you start creeping to dates and creeping around this person and attaching your wagon to their caboose. There's certain things that you should know about the type of man that you're looking at. And truthfully, the way this class is set up in my head is we're already speaking about, this is already going to be speaking about a proper Israelite man, that he's holding himself accountable. He has a standard. He has accountability. He's already showing leadership qualities. He's already doing and following what the scriptures say a man should do. So the warning is more of a, sister, are you ready for that? Because a lot of the times, what is it? What is it a lot of the times? You go through bad relationships, right? You go through the Pookie to Ray Ray to Chad, right? Sometimes it's like just back-to-back Pookies and Ray Rays. And then you start, you do that early in your life, you hit a certain epiphany when you get a little bit older, and then you say what? Or you start to change your circle, you surround yourself with different type of people. They're in relationships, they have children, whatever it may be, but then you come to the epiphany that, damn, I want to be in a relationship, but I don't want it to be Pookie and Ray Ray. So what do? You get in the shower, you cry to the Most High, you, Lord, please send me my Boaz, right? You reading Ruth, you reading the book of Ruth. You study, like, sis, what you been studying, Ruth? Abigail? I'm in 2 Samuel. What you doing in Oh, I'm just reading about Abigail. Really? I'm in Ruth. Why you in Ruth? Oh, I was just, because you daydreaming about Boaz. Because you want him to be handsome. You want him to be, you want him to have some money, some paper about him. You also want him to be influential. Right? And those things are good. There's nothing wrong with being able to be attracted to a person. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a man having a little bit of financial success and being able to take care of his responsibilities. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a man having influence and you wanting to be up under him, up under his wing. Ain't nothing wrong with that either. But is that it? Is that it? And that's the problem, where when you see a lot of these failed marriages, when you see a lot of these high profile, quote unquote, high profile brothers going through defamation online, the question is, well, why did you marry him, sis? What did you get with him for? What was it that you saw that made you say, he's the one? Was it his rap career? His Israelite rap career? Was it his beard? Was it the vehicle that he was driving? Was it the potential that, oh, he's a head guy, so now I can be the head mistress? Were you moving off of carnal ambitions, or was it spiritual, right? But you know, for some people it's different. Some people get in relationships with some sisters get in relationships with certain brothers because they're still caught up in a worldly mind that it's going to bring them some type of status. Oh, I'm married to such and such. I'm the wife of such and such. That might get you somewhere in your camp or somewhere in your congregation, but nobody don't really care. Right? We just care that, okay, the sister is married, she's off limits, but you don't get a prize for who you marry, especially if you're not doing it for the right reason. So what this class is designed to do, and watch this, hopefully we can get through this, probably not in one take, it's probably gonna be two. And then what's gonna come on the back end of this? What y'all think? What's gonna come on the back end? The reverse. Hey brother, before you marry, pause. Right? Because it's the same thing where brothers marry for the wrong reasons. And you think because, oh well, we're both Israelites and we both agree that shalom is spelled S-H-A-L-A-M and not S-H-A-L-O-M, then that's all there is to it. That's not all there is to it. Right? There's a lot of investigation, there's a lot of trials that you're gonna go through, and you know, a lot of time should be taken to endeavor into these marriages so that they don't become just another talking point on YouTube. You're not just another example of why to not marry an Israelite man on YouTube, or why not to get with black women, right? Why you don't be the talking point of, yeah, you know, this is why, you know, I'm gonna give me a concubine. Because black women they don't got no humility. They don't got no shame, right? So we don't want to be those talking points. So what is the first thing that a woman trying to endeavor into a relationship with an Israelite man has to understand about that man? Point one. Point one is that he leads with wisdom. He's going to lead you with wisdom. If this man is a seasoned man, or even if he's a man that's underneath leadership and he is active in the circle of brothers, right? He's proactive. He's not just on the sidelines sitting around waiting for brothers to tell him how to and what to, but he's actively going and doing what the scriptures say in Ecclesiastes 6 and sitting under his leadership. He's going to attempt to lead you with wisdom, right? And not worldly standards. So you would have to understand, well, what does that mean? What does that mean for me that he's going to lead with wisdom and not the worldly standard? Well, that would mean that all the advice you get from the outside world, whether it be through social media, whether it be through family, whether it be through, you know, just any source that you can get outside wisdom from the Bible, or outside wisdom outside the Bible from, that doesn't take center stage in your relationship. That's not the first thing to follow, the second thing to follow, or the third thing to follow. In most situations, he's not going to follow that wisdom at all. So what does that mean for you as a woman? If the man you're trying to get with is trying to lead with wisdom, what does that mean for that? What is
in line and lead? I mean, and be led. I want to
you're saying it right.
Submit to the wisdom that she's getting from him. To be led the correct way.
Right. We know that that has to happen. She has to submit, right? But you know what I find with a lot of people is they don't know why they need to submit. They don't understand. They know, a lot of sisters know, I got to submit to a man, but they don't really know why. They don't get why. They're just like, well, because it says it in 1 Peter's. Why submit to your husbands? That's why. Well, wait a minute. It also says some other things. That he speaks the word. So go there real quick. Go to 1 Peter's. This is not even in the class, but it's going to be the first scripture we go to. Go to 1 Peter 3. Wives submit. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives,
Right.
be in subjection to your own husband.
Right, go ahead.
That if any obey not the word.
Any obey not what?
The word.
Right. So why to submit? Well, because he's coming with the word. First of all, the word says to submit, and then he's going to reinforce the word of the Most High. Go ahead.
They also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wife.
Right, so that, why do you submit to a man, this man that you're dealing with, why do you submit to him when he's speaking the word? Because the word is going to prevent you from being captured by the conversation of wives. It's going to prevent you from being tossed and fro by those, your little single girlfriend, the ones that can never get a man, those ones that are upset because you got something going on in your life, right? They're not coming from the word of the Most High. They're coming from their own word, their own thought, the same thought that's keeping them single. But if you're trying to put yourself in a position to be married, well, the first thing you have to understand is that there has to be a submission to that man. Because why? The word is involved. Not because he's just a man. Because when he speaks to you, he's not just throwing scriptures like a dagger. But what he's able to do is now show you how the scriptures are applicable in life. Right? He makes the Bible practical for you to use in your everyday. Let me show you how we use this scripture in day to day. I know you know what it says, sis, but do you know how to use it? Right? Do you know how to implore this in your thinking? Do you know how to abide by this in your day to day? That's why it's important. So wisdom is going to be the first thing that you have to understand he's going to use, the biblical wisdom. So that means you have to be acquainted with wisdom as a woman. That means that you have to be studied. That means you have to be able to comprehend much in few words. That means that you have to get on his level. Right? But how do you get on the teacher's level? We just said it. You got to submit to that teacher. You got to pull up to the classroom. How do you learn what the teacher knows? You got to put yourself in front of the teacher. Right? You have to see the value in what that man is bringing. You have to value wisdom yourself. You have to be able to value wisdom above just that man's, because again, good looks, money, physical stature, all those things are great, but all those things, they'll go away through time, right? But what shouldn't diminish in this man? His ability to lead through wisdom. That should actually get stronger. Right? And the scriptures say that it gets stronger. Go from there. Did you finish that? Go to Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. And a lot of the times what sisters tend to do is you put the wisdom piece to the side. Because he makes up for the lack of wisdom with other things. Well, he's a good talker. Well, he looks like he might blow my back out. Well, I see what kind of car he drives. All that's fun and dandy, right? But what happens when he blows his own back out and he can't walk? You still gonna look at him the same? What happens when the car breaks down? What happens when life really start kicking in? Where do you come? Is it all of a sudden, I don't know, yo, it ain't the same. My love ain't the same. Well, what was your love for this man contingent on? Read that.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7.
Go ahead.
Wisdom is a principal thing.
It's the what?
Principal thing.
Yeah, it's the first thing. It's the numero uno. It's the thing that should propel everything else. Wisdom. Go ahead.
Therefore, get wisdom.
Therefore, do what?
Get wisdom.
Right. So that's what this man has. So that means, as a sister looking to be with this type of man, you have wisdom yourself, sis. You would have so that he can add to your wisdom. You might not be wise. It's not that you ain't smart. But in order to be able to make it work and to walk together and agree in one, you would have to be willing to sit so that his wisdom now becomes your wisdom, and your wisdom is his wisdom. And when you guys speak, when you guys deal, when you guys are dealing with finances, when you guys are dealing with children, when you guys are dealing with all the things that come with marriage, building a home, you guys are just in lockstep in the same mind. Right? Go to Proverbs 9 and verse 1. Speaking of building a home. Go to Proverbs 9 verse 1. Because no matter what, the reason why it tells you that wisdom is the principal thing is because you can't build without wisdom. You can't build relationships. You can't build, you can't build a physical home without wisdom. You can't build a spiritual home without wisdom. You can't build a relationship. You can't keep a relationship. You can't have money. You can't have a vehicle. A man cannot have a wife unless he's a man of wisdom. Because what you'll start out with is a good woman that an unwise man will ruin through his foolishness. Or what you'll start out with is a willing woman that may not be the best wife, but she has the potential, she has the willingness. But a foolish man is not going to curate that. What is he going to do? He's not going to maintain it. He's not going to maintain her. He's not going to have the wisdom to be able to fortify her spirit. So what's going to happen to that woman over time? Just like if you don't have the wisdom to maintain a home, a house, what happens to that home after time? What? Tar. Yep, you got it.
Oh, after
Don't wait for nobody. You got it.
a while, the home will crumble.
After a while, the home will crumble, right? Because of that slothfulness. It says the house decayeth, the house droppeth through. So just like in a relationship, just like that woman, you build her, or you can add to her and build her up. A foolish man, he's not going to build her. He's just going to throw a bunch of kids in her, use her for her money, break her back with pregnancy, break her back with 10 jobs, sit at home. He's going to sit at home, video games, not doing much, and she's just going to be burdened down with everything. When, you know what, let me lend a hand. Let me at least build her spirit to keep being this type of woman that I want her to be. Brothers ain't even that smart sometimes. It's like, okay, you don't want to do no work, and she's willing to do all the work, but you won't even wisen up in the Bible to keep her being a good worker for you, for the home. What sense does that make? But that's foolish, right? So we're not talking about a foolish man, we're talking about a good man. So read Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 9 verse 1. Wisdom hath builded her house.
Wisdom did what?
Has builded her house.
Right. Ask yourself, young betrothed or young woman looking for that husband, that man, what are you trying to build long term? What are you trying to build? Is it stability? Is it, or is it just a good time for the moment? And a lot of the times, the way women, the type of men that women deal with, you can see what they want. Sometimes they just want a good time. That's it. They want to be seen with someone that is recognized. They want to be seen with someone that has some motion going on in whatever space they're in. You're not with that person for the long term, because if you were, you wouldn't have been with them. You wouldn't have put yourself in a situation with them. You were just there for the party, for the good time, for the antics. It says, read it again.
With Proverbs chapter 9 verse 1.
Right.
Wisdom hath builded her house.
It said his six-pack.
Wisdom.
The kind of car.
Wisdom.
His bank account.
Wisdom.
The size of his beard.
Wisdom.
You know, well, he got muscles.
Wisdom
Come on.
has builded her house.
That's why a lot of houses fall, because they're not built on wisdom. And a lot of the times also is there's one person trying to use wisdom and another person trying to use worldly logic. So we got to make sure that our wisdoms match. You have to, as a woman, as a sister, you have to make sure that this man is going to lead you with wisdom. Why? Because you want something that's going to be long term. Don't get caught up in, well, you know, he's this or he's that, or his fringes match his New Balance. He got fringes with the green New Balance. Who cares? Who cares? That doesn't mean that he's wise. How does he handle problems? Right? How does he deal with situations if you're in a camp setting and you're looking at a brother? Well, how does he deal with situations in the Bible? What's his report amongst the brethren? Right? What's his report amongst the sisters? Right? Is he brotherly? Does he move around the sisters with respect? Or is he, you know, putting himself out there? Right? Is he, you know, again, dealing with the congregation the proper way? Or is he moving like a little boy? Is he responsible? All these things have to be checkmarked before you decide that, hey, I'm about to just jump into a relationship. And I'm not just talking about here in this school. I'm talking about all you sisters in any school or in any setting. I don't care if you go to church. What type of church member is he? If you believe in church and that's where you go, well, is he matching up to the other responsible men at your church? Well, I like a guy at my job. Okay, well, is he a hard worker? Is he lazy? Is he helpful? Because the way he is at the job is going to be how he carries himself at home. It may not show up right away, but it will. People that are hard workers across the board. People that are lazy across the board. You get what you get, and they'll show you who they are. You just have to wait for it to happen. Right? Go ahead.
She had hewed out her 7 pillars.
Right. What do those pillars do? They stabilize the house. They make sure that the house don't fall in on top of y'all. Wisdom is what holds it up. Go ahead.
She had killed her beast.
It knows what to eat. It knows what to drink. It knows how much to eat. Wisdom shows us moderation. Is he a moderate man? Or is he a glutton? Can he be satisfied easily, or is he unsatiable? Go ahead.
She has mingled her wine.
Right. Does he have a moderate drinking palate? Or does he need the whole 30-pack to feel a buzz? And then when he gets that 30-pack in him, how is he acting? If he gets 2 beers in him, how's he acting? He sip a little wine. Is he getting belligerent? All these things you need to know about a man before you just decide to be with him. Before y'all decide to link up. All these things are important. Because when problems start to hit and real life starts to catch y'all up 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, and he's going through stress and he's going through this, and then all of a sudden he turns to his real comfort, which is the bottle, and you didn't really pick up on that, that's where a lot of other things start to happen. He can't control his liquor in just a regular setting. He's not going to control his liquor under pressure. Right? And that can cause other issues. That's where, unfortunately, that's where you get domestic violence and you get physical altercations and just outbursts of emotions. All these things you should be doing as a intelligent woman. You should be looking at this man for more than just the physical, because he's moving. Again, if you're endeavoring for a good man, he's already moving, just like the scripture that we're reading. He's already moving the proper way. Are you ready to deal with that type of man? That's the question. So what would that mean for this type of sister? That means that you can't be a damn drunkard, sis. You can't be a pothead. You can't be emotional. You can't be a glutton. Right? Like, how we match, how we gonna match on certain things, but then not on other things that are more trivial or more detrimental, and then be upset when it don't work out? Oh, you'd have to get on the level with each other. My health serious. yeah, I do get serious and that serious. Well, you know what? I got to get on board. Or else it's just going to be things to fight about down the line. This is going to be things to argue about. Right? He distances himself and goes into isolation with no communication. Wait, what? Wait, okay, so we look online. It's a lot of action, right? Somebody says something. Stephanos sounds, but I agree with Paul when he said it's better to be solo dolo. Yeah, for some people it is better to be solo dolo. Some people should never marry. That's my honest opinion. Some men should never have even one wife. And some women should not even be considered a wife. Be looked at to be a wife or a mother. You're right. Some people don't deserve that. They don't deserve that institution. Why? They're not building themselves for that. That's an institution, the institution of marriage. They're not building themselves for that. Because all they do is bring their baggage and their hate and their anger into this union, and then they just make a bigger chaos. So some people don't deserve to be married. I'll stand on it. Let's see, Ecclesiastes, first read this. Let's talk about the emotional and mental aspect of it. Oh, we're gonna get into all of it. We're just dealing with wisdom, but we're gonna get into all of it, right? Because if you kind of been watching us, you know, I've been touching on certain classes like emotional responsibility, like why men should be emotionally responsible, right? I've done those classes, so you know, if you just go back a little bit into the classes that we've done, you'll see we talk about emotional intelligence when it comes to brothers, right? We talk about all these different things that the scriptures are supposed to be building inside of us for us to be better men, right? So now that man is a better man, is the women building themselves to get him and to be with him. Are you qualified for him? Right? Or are you disqualifying yourself once you get into marriage with all the back and forths, all the misunderstandings? And that's a serious question. And again, I'm going from a standpoint of seeing just as many men are getting married in the truth. There's just as much disappointment in marriages too. When it comes to the Israelite community, you see a lot of dysfunction because we go at this thing the wrong way. We see a lot of brothers that are good. Like a good man don't mean you're a good husband. It doesn't mean that you're a good husband. Good leader don't even mean you're a good husband. You could be a good leader and not be a good husband, right? Two things can be true, right? Leadership, being a good husband, being a good man, those things can be compartmentalized depending on the type of person you're dealing with. Some people can stretch their arms out into all three of those realms. Some people are only good at two of the three. Some people are good at one of the three. Some people are good at none. It just depends on that man and how willing he is to put himself in position to be successful in all three. Because you could be a great leader and be a terrible husband. Right? So, awesome. Thank you. I will go back and listen. Yeah, we got it. So, where you at? Keep reading.
She has also furnished her table.
Right. That house is going to be furnished. That food, right? That sustenance. Go ahead.
She has set forth her maiden.
Right.
She cried upon the highest places of the city.
Right. So this man is going to be set up to use and lead with wisdom first. So what do you have to know as a woman trying to get with this man of wisdom? Read.
Whoso is simple,
go ahead.
Let him turn in hither.
Let him what?
Let him turn in hither.
Let her do what?
Let him turn in hither.
Yeah, you got to turn in towards wisdom, sis. You got to turn towards that wisdom. You got to be willing to be guided by that. And why do I keep hammering this home? Well, because again, we sit here, we bitch, we complain about what we don't got, then we get it, and then we do what when we get it? When you really get that godly man. You like, damn, I didn't know he was gonna be that godly. I didn't know he was gonna be that Bible driven. I didn't know he was gonna be that dedicated. I didn't know he was gonna be that hard. I didn't know he was gonna be that stern. I didn't know he was gonna be that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just asked for a cat that followed the Bible. What? Hey, what you want? Like a tiptoer? Somebody to half-ass it? No. Most High gave you what you want, and so you got to be ready to accept what you're asking for and what the Most High is giving you. Go ahead.
As for him that wanteth understanding.
As for what?
As for him that wanteth understanding.
Come on.
She saith to him,
Right.
Come, eat of my bread.
Right. So if you want understanding, sis, you got to sit down and eat of the bread of wisdom. That's going to come from that man. Go ahead.
And drink of the wine.
Right.
Which I have mingled.
Come on.
Forsake the foolish and live.
Wait, do what?
Forsake the foolish.
So what is one of the things that this man is going to tell you? He's going to tell you to do what?
Forsake the
Yeah,
foolish.
you ain't got to deal with those people over here. Foolish family members, foolish friends, cut them off.
Okay.
Foolish people that waste time, don't deal with that. But see, a lot of times when we get into that point of like, it's like, well, see, he's just making me cut myself off from my family. No, that's not what it is. What it is, and if you understand what it is that sometimes you have to isolate to build. That way, when you do pop out amongst family, when you do pop out amongst friends, you're stable in your convictions. Your friends and your family ain't gonna be able to pull you out of what you're learning. Like it says in Matthew's about the seed and the sower. As soon as the seed is planted, then come the wicked one to take what's in your heart, what's been planted. So a man of wisdom knows that. He knows what? Let me shield you from the constant attacks, the constant infiltration of family that is not going to even try to understand what you're dealing with, right? And friends that are just going to ridicule you for, number one, why you submitting to him? Why you doing that? He ain't nobody. He ain't this, he ain't that. But then you have to have the wisdom, sis, to understand the value in that. That it's just a building mechanism. It's nothing else, right? You're going to back out into the world and stretch your stuff. But right now, you ain't got nothing to stretch because you're weak and you're just learning, right? Like when you go to a job and they put you in training, they don't just throw you out to the wolves in the field, or in the call center or whatever. They let you sit in a room separate from everybody else. And you sit in that training and they tell you this is going to be a 6-week training. You're like, man, 6 weeks in this one little ass room? Yeah. Because when we put you on the floor, it's go time. So we're going to train you up over here in the corner, get you strong, get you confident, build up your spirit, right? That way when you pop out, you just fit right in. You're ready to go. Nobody can stop you. You can't be deterred. But you have to understand what that's about. It's not him trying to cut you away from your family. But in some cases, that needs to happen because wisdom says so. Read it again.
Forsake the foolish.
What?
Forsake the foolish.
Go ahead.
And live. And go.
What are we trying to do?
And live.
We're trying to build a life. We're trying to live. We have to live together. Why are we incorporating this person and that person when I got to wake up to you every day? We got to build this thing. And so, sisters, you got to remember that, right? And then now for the sisters that are already married, husband, relationship, years, you can take this information the same way and say, well, damn, when my husband is trying to get me to see certain things, but I got interference being ran from this person or that person, and he says, look, don't deal with that right now. What's he trying to get me to do? He's trying to get me to focus in on the wisdom he's trying to give me so that we can live. Forsake the foolish forsake them for a moment so that we can live for the long term. Don't get it twisted, right? He's not trying to get you to drink the Kool-Aid. He's not trying to get you to. I was watching I was watching that cult leader yesterday. Man, it was bugged out. But he's not trying to get you to, you know what I'm saying, like just do weird things. It's how do we build the best way and the most efficient? Because this is the thing that sucks. You put in and you put in and you put in to a situation, and then someone else can just walk up and topple it with 2 words. You put all this time and effort into your wife, and then some outside person could just say 2 things, and all of a sudden that whole foundation is ripped up. That's crazy. So you just got to understand, marriage is an investment, and that man of wisdom is trying to protect his investment, which is you, his children, right? He's trying to protect that. Go ahead, read verse 6 again.
Verse 6.
Right?
Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding.
And go in the way of understanding. Right? Wash your dirty right? Stephanos is hilarious. Go to Proverbs 12 and verse 8. And I don't want this to be me just talking. Yeah, I'm about to say, please, y'all, I don't want this to be just me just barking scriptures. Nah, go ahead, sis.
No, so what this man of wisdom is doing is he's seeing what this woman is not seeing, because she's in the midst of things, and looking out in, he can see the danger around her, so he's protecting that. So removing her and telling her to forsake those things is because he can see where she's heading. He can see where those things are leading her to.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, the likelihood of this man being more seasoned. Notice I didn't say smarter or better, but just more seasoned in these situations of people removing or negative people destroying other people's paths. He may be more seasoned in being able to recognize that and saying, wait, this is going to destroy your growth and your path. Because who you associate with is who you start to learn and build off of yourself. So this man could be more seasoned, and he might see that. He might be saying, look, I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to protect us. But if you don't recognize wisdom because you don't want to recognize it, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to work. We're going to be at this point where we're just constantly clashing. And it's going to be painted as, see, he's just trying to keep me from my family. No, he's not. But yes, he is. He is, but he's not. He's not doing it. He's keeping you from your family for your benefit. Because if you're really about this and your family ain't, how does that help to be around? Right? But then it's just strengthen yourself, sit in the gym, pump the iron. And then when you build yourself up, now you get around the family because you can defend yourself. Right? You have those spiritual safeguards. You know what they're gonna come with. They don't approve of your marriage. They tell you to your face, you ain't married. Where's the paperwork? We didn't get invited. But a young sister that don't know nothing, she's sitting there doing what? Getting body checked. Boom, every word is like a body blow. And she's like, ooh, damn, ooh, damn. And then she go home to her brand new husband, and she looking at him crazy, like, with an attitude, right? And he's like, Shalom, babe, what's going on? And she's like, I ain't got no paperwork. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. He's like, what the hell? So you let these people just throw Satan into your brain and cause division amongst us. So what is that man supposed to do? Just keep letting you go and coming back with demons? Or does he say, hey, maybe you need to slow down but go into the parents until you understand what you've committed to? My point is, you should understand what you've committed to before you commit. Understand what type of man you're getting with. Right? Because, and there's a part that we're going to go to about accountability, but just understand, like, for sisters that are in schools, you got a body around you, you got a congregation, right? For the most part, I can't speak for every single school. I know our school, and brothers and sisters could attest to this. We are going to hold you accountable, meaning you're not just going to get together and then just be all willy-nilly and just, well, today we together, tomorrow we not, we patrol right now, but we cut it and then just sneaking around. No. What are y'all doing? Let's make it clear. Let's make it plain so we can try to progress y'all through and make sure that you guys are not moving too fast. We're going to police that thing for a time. We're going to, let me use a different word. We're going to chaperone, right? Especially if you come to us and say, hey, I'm interested in this brother, or hey, I'm interested in the sister. We're going to say, okay, cool. We're going to chaperone you guys to make sure that you guys don't overcommit too fast, right? And that should be a welcome thing in all societies. Those relationships actually last longer, right? Because there's a higher accountability and a higher level of understanding of what am I getting into, right? So wisdom is what's being led with. Go from there, go to Proverbs 12 and 8.
Come.
Right, he's foreseeing the future. Right. I thought it was a question. Let me see, welcome to you. I thought somebody said a question. Oh, no, there is no question. He's foreseeing, right, Qatazap, he's foreseeing the future. That's the point. That's what a man of wisdom does. It says a wise man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. But if this wise man got a wife, children, he don't hide them too. Right? Because then this is the kicker. He don't stop you from the evil and hide you. Then you say, well, he don't care about me. It's like that, he can't win. So he's ripping you from your family, but he don't care about you. Which one is it? But see, only a woman of wisdom is going to be able to dissect what's really going on. A foolish woman, she's going to have all these different talking points on both ends, and you can't win with a foolish woman. So a woman would have to wisen up also to the caliber of that man to be able to have them walk together in agreement. Read where you at.
Proverbs 12 verse 8.
Right?
A man shall be commended
Right.
according to his wisdom.
No, to his physical appearance.
To his wisdom.
To his wisdom. It's really just that simple. How do you know a man? Look at his wisdom. How do you know what level a man is on? Look at the level of wisdom. When you commend someone, what does that mean? When you commend someone. Yeah, what?
When you giving them reverence, I should say.
That, what else?
Like giving them a pat on the back, so to speak, type situation.
Credit or reward, when you're giving them a title.
Right.
Right? Well, do you give the Medal of Valor or a Purple Heart or whatever the medals are? Do you give that to a non-soldier that never deserved it?
No.
Why does a man get commended with a certain honor? Because he deserved it. Because he showed.
Went above and beyond.
He showed that he was doing that job to get that commendation. Did you look something up? What you got?
I got commend, means to formally praise someone.
Formally praise. A man shall be formally praised according to his wisdom. That's a wise man. Or, damn, that's a... Go ahead.
Or something to recommend them as worthy.
Right, so young sister that's looking to be married, why attention? What are you giving him? What are you giving him your attention based on? It said something worthy of attention, right? So what are you giving your attention to him for? What is it based on? His wisdom or something else? And again, a lot of women, when it's time to get with that man, you looking at your attentions are on the wrong thing. And then you fall into that trap of, he was a smooth talker, he looked like my favorite celebrity, he was the coolest guy in the room, whatever it is, you fall into that trap, because when that wears off, or when he just flat out showed you that he was just deceiving you, he was playing a part just to get with you, then what do you have? Scars, heartbreak, right? That's why a lot of women, they move around with scars and heartbreak, because they got with men under the wrong conditions, under preconceived notions or whatever it is, with looking at that man with the wrong lenses. That's why it's so important, if you have a father and you're a single woman and your father is a sensible man, get that man in front of your daddy, because he'll sniff out all his BS quick. But see, a lot of the times you sisters don't do it. You know why? Because you don't want the BS to be sniffed out. You want to be able to go with, you want to be able to commend him for what you want to commend him for. You get entangled with the carnal things, and we're like, hey, you shouldn't like that guy because he's this type of guy. And you're like, no, I love him. It's like, but what do you love? And then you find all the things to like a person for, but there's all these red flags to not like them for. Right? Your daddy is going to find out the red flags. The men around him is going to show you the red flags. You got to be willing to accept the red flags. So that you're not just moving through these relationships and then having regret, scars, starting to hate. I hate men now. I hate all men. All men are, you see the stuff on TikTok. It's all man. TikTok is man hate. A bunch of single, heartbroken ass women, 50 years old, sitting around with a cat and a bunch of plants. 2 dogs, and the house smell like pee. Yeah, nasty. And they just mad. All men suck. And it's like, who messed you up? Well, you kept getting the bad boys. You kept getting the guys with the motorcycles, with the tattoos that said, I love you, mom.
Oh.
Yeah. But then the guy that had wisdom, right? He might not have been as exciting. He might not have been as out there. You were like, nah, he's boring. I ain't messing with that. But then you get what you asked for. A man shall be commended. You'll know what a man is according to the wisdom, his logic. Go ahead.
You were like,
Yeah.
Let me see here. Question: do you believe in love at first sight?
Go up.
No. How can you love someone at first sight? Oh, go up.
Yeah, go up.
Oh, they in the chat just going in?
Yeah,
Let
go
me see. Yeah. Let's see here. In my past, I've been faithful and never cheated on this man, but from the beginning, he always accused me of cheating. What shall I do? I care for this man, but constantly being accused has me. But that's a whole different. It's kind of different from what we're talking about. If I go on that, I'm gonna veer off the class. Right? Let's see, a proper matchup. Before God and you, sir, I never cheated. I've never cheated. Right? Let me see. Show. Commend him with trust, silence, and a clean house. Like that. Right? Question, do you believe in love at first sight? No. No. Love at first sight is no. How do you know you love somebody just by looking at them? You're in love with their aesthetic, and that's where people fail. Because once that good look fall off, once they get a wrinkle, once something, what is there to love if you didn't develop some type of spiritual connection with that person? So no, I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe lust at first sight. It's called lust. That's what that is. Wait, I wanted to keep notes, but is this the class? Yeah, we in class. I know I'm talking, but this is the class. Right? Hey, I have a cat. Yeah, I know. See, but what I'm saying. Oh, the cat ladies came out. Look at that. This is that one. I know. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean because you have a cat and plants that I'm talking about those women that they hate men and cats and plants are their life. That's all they got when they go home is a cat and a plant because no man can stand them. So there's a context to the cat lady and the plant lady. The plant mom, the fur mom, there's a context. That's hilarious though. He said, hey. Oh man, I got 2 cats and a son. Yeah, no, I'm not hating on cat women. I'm just saying, you know, those disgruntled women that they run everybody out, even their own children. They run them out their lives when they got as cats, and have dead plants, right? Go from there. Go to Ecclesiastes 9:14. Go to Ecclesiastes 9:14. So as a young woman looking at this man, this is the type of man you should be looking for. Ecclesiastes 9:14. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 14.
Go ahead.
There was a little city, and few men within it. And there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it.
Right.
Now there was found in it a poor wise man.
A what?
A poor wise man.
So in this city, small inhabitants, there was a poor but wise man. Go ahead.
And he, by his wisdom,
By his money,
by his wisdom,
by his aggression,
by his wisdom,
by his manhood,
by his wisdom,
he had a high level of testosterone.
by his wisdom,
Go ahead.
delivered the city.
See that? Because wisdom is what delivers. It says, wisdom and knowledge shall be your strength and stability in thy times. His wisdom delivered the city from a great king. Go ahead.
Yet no man remembered that same poor man.
No man what?
Remember that same poor man.
But nobody remembered that man. And that's the downfall, right? When you lead with wisdom, brothers, you can be easily forgotten by the people that are not looking for your wisdom. So you got to remember that, right? But what does that mean? It doesn't matter what people remember, right? As long as you know you're doing the right things, let them forget, right? Let them forget. Nobody remembers, again, when cats talk about the ancestors, let's remember the ancestors. They don't never talk about Christ and his wisdom, but they always want to talk about something else more extravagant, something carnal. Somebody did something carnal. Let's talk about that. But they didn't talk about it. Nobody's talking about how many people Christ healed, right? So that's just something that we always got to live with, is that when you lead with wisdom, it's not something that everybody harps back to. It's not the thing put on front page. There's not articles written about it. So the woman that gets with this type of man has to be willing to not be in the spotlight. The wisdom don't get the spotlight, especially not in this society, right? Who gets the spotlight? Tells you, the rich, they get the spotlight. Their words are the ones that get exalted to the clouds. But let a wise man speak, and nobody's listening to the wise. So you just got to understand that that's something that comes with the territory. Keep using wisdom. Go ahead.
Then said I, wisdom is better than strength.
Wisdom is what?
Better than strength.
Why? Because a man is going to go through stages where his strength is strong and then his strength weakens. But that doesn't mean that his wisdom, his mental, the way he reasons in situations has to go away because he's not physically strong anymore. And this is what we got to understand. Wisdom can outlast strength, physicality. You're supposed to be looking, as a woman, as women, you're supposed to be looking at, even, again, women that are currently married, you're supposed to be looking to follow your husband's wisdom. You've been married to him for 10 years. He ain't the same as what he was 10 years ago. He's not physically as strong, but his mental should be sharp. His wisdom should be increasing. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised.
See that? A poor man's wisdom is despised. So, again, why am I going to this story and just trying to, tie it all in? Well, because if you're looking at the worldly things to be the driving force in your relationship, Well, that's easy, right? But that only lasts so long. If you're looking for wisdom to be the driver, that's gonna uphold you, but it's not loud, it's not out there, right? That's not, you can't post that on social media, right? You ain't gonna get a bunch of likes on social media for the wisdom. Just think about it. Think about it. We know what drives social media. What gets those likes up is always something physical, sexual. There was one, there's a track star, Judite chick. She said it. She's a beautiful girl. She said it. She said, look, she said, I know she's a track star for the USA team. Forgot her name, but she said, look, sex sells. She said, I ran a 12 something and nobody cared. As soon as I put a little skimpy outfit on, I had 11 million hits. She sat right on the couch. She said, I ain't stupid. She said, I'm logical. I know what sells. And I know what I'm gonna use to, she said, I made 6 figures in 6 months showing my body, not running track. And I was like, damn. Yeah. So we know what's gonna be promoted. Sisters, you know what's promoted out there. You know, oh, y'all are the power couple. Is that what you're looking for? The power couple for the moment? Or are you looking for that powerful spiritual couple for longevity? Again, before you marry, wait and understand what you're getting into, because you have to be real with yourself to know, what do you want out of this union? Do you want it to be the Jay-Z, Beyonce, y'all are on the front cover? Is that what you're looking for? Or you looking for the Zacharias, Elizabeth type of link up? Which one? Where we at? Go to Proverbs. No, keep reading.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 16.
Right.
Last precept.
No, it wasn't Sha'Carri Richardson. It was another one. I just saw her today. It wasn't Sha'Carri Richardson, no. This chick was, she was way better looking than Sha'Carri Richardson. But yeah, it's a lot. Sha'Carri ain't my type of chick. But read where you at. Finish it.
And his words are not heard.
Go ahead.
The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools.
See that? The words of wise men are heard more in the quiet. Because that's what wisdom does, man. It says wisdom crieth out, but are you wise enough to hear when wisdom is speaking? Are you wise enough to know that, man, it ain't about the glam and the glitter. It ain't about this or that, but it's about wisdom being that driving force. Go ahead.
Wisdom is better than weapons of war.
Wisdom is better than weapons of war. Weapons of war can be broken down. They can be outlasted. But wisdom, nothing outlasts wisdom. Go ahead.
But one sinner destroys much good.
Right, go from there. Go to Proverbs 24 and verse 3. Somebody else, help them out. Proverbs 24 and verse 3.
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
Through wisdom is in house building.
Right, through what?
Through wisdom.
Through what?
Through wisdom.
Through wisdom is a house building. See that? So again, why am I hitting this point so heavily? Because as you marry, as you come into this union of marriage, what are you trying to build? This is the number one question you have to ask yourself. What are you trying to do when you marry? Are you trying to build a household? Are you trying to have something stable? Or is it just for an aesthetic? Is it just for a look? Because if it's for wisdom, if it's for building long term, then you would have to go at it a certain way. There's just no way around it. You would have to use certain tools to build to make it last. Doesn't matter if you have the tools, it's how you use them. What's the point of using a screwdriver as a hammer? What's the point of using a hammer as a screwdriver? You got the tools, they both build, right? You're gonna cause more damage trying to use a screwdriver as a hammer than building anything. So wisdom has to be needed. Wisdom is needed to be able to use the tools you have at your disposal properly. Wisdom builds. Go ahead.
And by understanding.
And by what?
By understanding.
Because once we have wisdom, knowledge, understanding, we can we conquer. Once we understand one another, come on. Think about how many issues are in marriages because of simple
Understanding.
misunderstandings. You didn't take the time to understand that this was gonna be a wisdom-driven situation. That this man was gonna be wisdom-driven, not emotional. Go ahead.
By understanding it is established,
Go ahead.
and by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches.
See that? This man ain't gotta go out, rob and steal. He don't gotta get it how he live. He's gonna use knowledge. And that's going to build the house and furnish and build y'all up. Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
A wise man is strong. Yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. For
It says what?
a man of knowledge increaseth strength.
See that? A man of knowledge increaseth strength. Why? Because that knowledge and wisdom keeps going up. That wisdom is better than strength. Let me see here. It says nobody wants work. It takes effort to get it together. Real talk. Everyone is cool with counterfeit people. Just saying. You're right. It all takes work. According to Ephesians 4, it says endeavoring to keep the unity in the bond of the spirit of peace. It takes work. Everything that we do, right? Especially Israelites, it's like it takes double the work, because it's almost like we're predisposed to just give up when things don't suit us, or when things don't go exactly the way we feel like they should, or if things rub us uneasy, we're quick to be like, never mind, next thing, next situation, next person, and you person job hopping. As soon as you don't like one thing on the job, you leave. Next job. Right? As soon as you don't like that next thing. Well, we could avoid that by just understanding what you're trying to understand what you're getting into. Right? But then also understanding that things do take work. Relationships take work. Being a wife takes work. Being a husband takes work. Using wisdom takes work. Right? Israel wax found a kid. Yeah, of course. Right? Another moderator just handled it. Yeah. Israel definitely likes to be on that lazier side, where we just want things handed to us, and we don't feel like, if it's too much work, like we'll work a little bit, but if it's too much work, we like, man, on to the next thing. To be able to get it out the mud, but not get muddy. We don't want no dirt on our fingers, but we want to, I got it out the mud. You know what it means to get something out the mud? Bruh, you know what that actually means? Like, getting it out the mud is not an easy thing, right? Your vision is obscure, your hands is dirty, you filthy, and you took that thing and you cleaned it up, and you made it nice and shiny, but that took work to get something up out the mud. That's a saying that we use, right? Yeah, but niggas ain't really trying to get it out the mud. You're not trying to get that relationship out the mud. It get a little muddy and you run. I can't get, it's too dirty for me. It's too spooky over here. But does it have to get to those points? And I think if we understand what we're doing in relationships before we just dive in, right, and just pump brakes, you won't have to get to the points where, we knee deep in mud. We knee deep in negative. We're knee deep in this or knee deep in that. Take our time. Understand what we're doing. Understand what we're committing to. Where we at?
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 6.
Right. Go ahead. No, don't read verse 6. So, that was like point 1, hour and a half later. Read. Yeah, I had a feeling. So, before you marry, wait, stop. Why? Because the man you marry, his decision-making is not going to be decision-making of emotion, but it's going to be logic. So what do you have to understand? That a man of wisdom, his decision-making looks different than how the world is taught to make decisions. It doesn't look traditional. Like, Dad, you making that decision? Why? His decision-making is more logical. right? He's not doing things emotionally. He's not emotionally driven when he makes certain decisions. So a lot of the decisions that he's gonna make, guess what? If you're an emotional person, they're not gonna feel good to you. Now we ain't doing that. But why not? My family. Now we ain't doing it. God said we ain't doing that. Because I'm thinking of certain things that you're not thinking of. Or yeah, we're gonna do that. But why? Because I'm thinking. Because I'm already past the emotional part of it, and I'm already thinking of the logic behind why or why not. Right? So, again, a man of wisdom, or this type of man, or what a woman would have to understand about an Israelite man that is a properly raised and groomed man, because we're calling him a man, right? Right. His logic leads along with his wisdom. You can't pressure him into decisions. Well, I'm gonna make sure I pressure him. I'm gonna poke him. I'm gonna keep asking. Nah, hold on, punk. Let's talk. Let's deal with it. Right? The world doesn't put the pressure on him to make him just go at something. Because what is he always doing? What is he always doing that you hate? Now this is for the married sisters. He's sitting back, quiet, thinking. And it's like, why you look upset? Nah, I'm not. I'm just thinking. Just thinking about all the decisions I gotta make, and I'm making sure that I'm not doing any decision out of emotion. I'm trying to let my logic and wisdom lead. Ecclesiastes 2:2. See, in most setups, as men, we're shown how to make decisions a certain way. We're told to be strong and to be this and be that, but then the teaching that we get is not that. Because the world wants us to just make a decision, make a decision, make a decision. Don't worry about the consequence. Don't worry about down the line. Just react. But an Israelite man, he's already 10 steps ahead of the decision, or at least trying to be. And you gotta live with that. You gotta live with the no's. You gotta live with the no's when you want yes. You gotta live with the yes when you want no's. You gotta be able to live with that, sisters. Right? Because if you trust that this is your husband, and that the good Lord gave him to you, and that it's God, Christ, man, woman, child, then wouldn't you trust his decision making? Unless you think unless you just, Most High gave me a flat out fool. He gave me in the ball. Damn. I can't trust nothing that he do. That's what you would be saying in a roundabout way. Well, I don't trust his judgment. What is he a fool? Ecclesiastes 2:2. They say great minds think alike. God didn't make us Siamese twins. One person can't do all the work. Go ahead, where we at?
Ecclesiastes 2:2.
Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright.
Read.
And constantly endure.
Go ahead.
And make thy haste in time of trouble.
This is the type of man you're gonna get. A man whose mind is set aright. Right? He's constantly trying to endure. Even if it looks like he's not enduring. He's constantly enduring. Because he's not hasty in his decision making. I think that scares a lot of women. Because you're looking for someone to be frantic. And because we sometimes be like, I ain't tripping on that. You're like, see, you don't care. Wait, no, I do care. It's just that I don't care to be emotional. I do care. Right? But I don't want to, like, if we're both emotional or if we're both driven by emotion, then where does the logic, whose logic guides us? If we're both emotional in a situation, how does the logic come in? It doesn't, right? Right. So sometimes our logic can be a little bit off-putting, where it's like, you're just a cold-hearted bastard. You don't care about nobody. No, that's not true. Right now, I can't afford to get caught up in the emotions to make hasty decisions. I gotta constantly endure. I gotta constantly set my mind a certain way. It says it. Read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Set thy heart
It
aright.
says to set your heart aright. So what does that mean? I gotta set myself up to do the right thing. So that might not always translate as the, oh, babe, and the emotional rub on the back and the glance into the eyes and, you know, all that stuff that y'all watch in 50 Shades of Grey. Or whatever little shows that romanticize every interaction between a man and a woman. And if he ain't doing that, he doesn't like me or he doesn't love me. That's not what it is. It's just that the man that you're signing up to be with, he understands something about the world that he's in, the people that y'all are surrounded by, and the way these spirits work. They play on emotions. Now, watch this. By a show of hands, we got 4 sisters. Sisters, real quick, and you can answer online. Sisters online and in the class. Which one of y'all want an emotional man? Which one of y'all want a man that's just emotional? That's my point. That's my point. No sister wants, no woman, what woman, okay, which one of y'all want to be around an emotional man? Forget about him being your husband. This is an emotional ass man. Does that project strength? A man that's just constantly emotional, constantly in his feelings. Does that project leadership? Does that project safety and stability? Hell no. You want a man that is sure in his convictions, that when he say he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. He's not double-minded, he's not back and forth, he's not tiptoeing, right? You want a man that when he step up to the plate, he steps up to the plate. Do you want to tell a man when to step up? Should you have to? Hell no, you shouldn't have to. He should be sure in his convictions. So if you don't want it, well, what do you want? Well, I get it. You don't want the extreme damn male chauvinist pig either, right? You don't want that extreme brother that's just, he ain't got no, he's just rigid. He don't got no softness about him. He has no care. You don't want that either, right? You want balance, right? But sometimes certain of those characteristics, especially men, we have to learn how to be more balanced in our approach when it comes to those things, right? We got to know when to, you got to know when, you got to be able to read the room and sit and know, okay, damn, you know what? It's time for me to concede my position. It's time for me to condescend. It's time for me to take low, right? It's time for me to, you know what? I was wrong on that. Get off the high horse. Like, that's what we have to, that's what men have to get better at. And we all got to get better at it, right? But those things can be learned. The things that you want, they can be learned if a man is willing to learn them, right? But it's hard to unlearn emotion. Golly. An emotional little boy turns into an emotional man. So you try to break the emotions out your sons early, right? An emotional little girl that's always crying. You don't want that either, because then she's just going to grow up always crying, right? So I got to be on my little one. Like, you can't cry for everything, because then people are going to respond to you in that way, and you're not going to get the response you want. So we recognize that emotion in situations is not always needed or even warranted. It doesn't help. So this man that you asking for, that you're looking for, that you wanting, you have to know that when you turn up with your emotions, guess what he do? He gets even more stone-faced. He gets even more reserved. He gets even more, okay, we're just gonna wait for that little temper tantrum to stop. He gets even more, quiet. Why? Because he can't meet emotion with emotion. Logic has to intercept emotion. It has to, right? So what is he doing in these moments? Well, he's setting his mind aright. so that he doesn't have the outbursts, so he doesn't have the foolish response, right? He's enduring all these situations, and he's not being hasty when it gets troublesome, right? Yeah, I mean, just think about it. When you're overly emotional, what does that project? Doesn't it project like a vulnerability? Come on, y'all been around some emotional dudes, right? But where does that stem from? It is vulnerability. You're projecting that you're vulnerable in that certain area, right? If I have a conversation with you and I know if I bring up a certain instance and you start to wild out on me, oh, you're vulnerable there. Got you. Now I know how to infiltrate whatever mind you're thinking, because I know your vulnerable points. Because you got overly emotional trying to defend yourself in that point or whatever it may be. It just don't look good, right? Coming from a man. Gird up your loins like a man, you see? This brother know it is, man. Go to Proverbs 25 and 28. Right? So what type of man are you gonna get? Well, you're gonna get this type of man. Read.
Proverbs 25 and 28. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down.
Yeah, that's a man that has no rule. That's a man that's led by his emotion, but see, you're not getting that man. Right? You're not getting that man. You're getting the man that's not ruled by his emotions. You're getting the man that has rule over his spirit. So guess what you can't do to him? Guess what you can't do to him, sis? What can't you do to him? He's a city that's built up. What can't you use against him? What's a woman's weapons? What's the weapons that women are taught to implore to get a man to break them down? What?
Their body.
Well, yeah, okay, that's one. Yeah, what else? Just on what we're talking about. What?
His mind.
How? How are women taught to break men down?
By the way that you speak to him, just using like certain things, like just yourself, or finding any little weakness to use against him.
The crying.
Yes.
Or the yelling. Men that don't want to go back and forth because you're yelling, he's broken down. Because he knows that as soon as he says something and you turn up, he don't want to deal with that. So women are taught to break their men down by emotional talking, using emotion, using their emotions as sharpened knives to break his guard, right? And then because what it is how do I get the reaction from him that I'm looking for? That's what pisses a lot of people off. So the thing is, with this type of man, you're not gonna break him down to where now he's reacting to you in this emotional state, because then he'll be this broken down city, right? So again, why am I going through this? Well, because if you don't understand what type of thing, what type of man, what type of woman you're asking for, right? It's like if I man, yeah, I want a wife, right? I want a wife. Well, what are you really asking for as a man, Israelite man, as far as a wife? Just something you put babies in? No, you're not asking. You're asking to be put to work. You're asking for husbandry. You're asking for a field that needs to be tilled, that needs to be cleaned, that needs to be planted, that needs to be constantly maintained. That's what you're asking for as a man when you say, I want a wife. You're asking to be put to work. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's not what we've been taught. Like, it's some cookie cutter relationship. and we can just be mad at each other and then sweep it under the rug with a little glance and a little makeup sex. And everything's all good. That's fake. That's fake as hell. Because when it really starts hitting and these problems really start breaking down your relationship, you're gonna really know what you built, what foundation you standing on. You're gonna really know. You gotta have them hard talks with your significant other, and it ain't comfortable for neither one of y'all, and y'all just throwing mud. But you're like this, and you're like this, and it's like, well, you like this, and you like this. And it's like, well, we can both take it personal and hate each other, or we can understand what's being said and see that I'm criticizing for growth. I'm being criticized to grow and move that way and keep growing. Or we could just develop into hateful ass people because I didn't like what you said about me. I didn't like the fact that you pointed out something about me or that I do in the relationship, right? So there's a reason why I'm going through this, because remember, marriages is like the #1 problem inside of our community. It's the #1 problem every time. It's marriage. 1 minute brother be on Facebook, here goes my beautiful wife. Man, Israel, ain't she dope? 10 days later, he deletes every photo off the Facebook. Man, it sucks being lonely. Like, damn, weren't you just married? Yeah, they just come and go. He putting subliminals on the Facebook. Yeah, man, they just be coming and going. 1,000 out of 1,000 men, I found one. Out of 1,000 sisters, I found none. It's like, but yo, you was just happy. You was just hugged up on Facebook. Y'all was doing Facebook lives together. You had 50 photos, all your travels. Now she gone? Wait, what did you build it on? And I'm tired of seeing it. That's why I'm doing these classes, to warn sisters. Stop trying to get with brothers if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Because some of y'all just ain't qualified. Brothers, stop trying to get with women if you don't know what the hell you're doing, because you're not qualified. Get qualified and then get in a relationship. Qualify yourself. Or, like Stefano said, be like Paul and just be celibate. And stop ruining people's lives. And stop dragging your baggage into situations that you're not ready to deal with. That's the thing. That's the thing. Go fix yourself. Heal from the daddy scar, the mommy scar. Go heal. Right? Heal from the daddy issues and the mommy issues. But don't heal with the person that you're with. Because all you're doing is just bleeding on them. That's it. All you're doing is just putting your baggage on top of them, and they can't bear it. They're not there to bear that burden like that. Some men gotta go heal before they get in a relationship. Some women, a lot of women gotta go heal. Go get an actual therapist. Sit on somebody's couch, non-biased, let them shrink you. Because when you come up in here and then you in a relationship, we ain't got time to shrink you back to your childhood. We gotta deal with the immediate issues. But what am I learning in a lot of these marriage counsels? I'm taking it way back. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Let's go back before y'all got together. Let's talk about you. I got to do that now. And then let's talk about when y'all got together. What did y'all substantiate your relationship on? What was it founded on? Oh, so you guys didn't talk about that. Oh, okay. That's why that's an issue now. You didn't talk about this pivotal thing. And then now when you're trying to act on that thing, there was no real agreement. That's the issue. So I'm learning in these counsels, I gotta go back to help a lot of people out. But I don't have unlimited time. I don't have unlimited time, man. So I'm like, hey, before you marry, wait. Before you cause your camp leader, before you add on to your camp leader hours and hours and hours of unnecessary counsel, just don't get married. That's my advice. Before somebody has to take hours out of their day and hours and years of guidance that you're not necessarily going to follow anyway, just don't get married. Or understand what you're getting into. All right? Women's weapons, sex, kids, prenuptial agreements and no dinner. Yo. Yeah, and tears. Did he say tears? The women's weapon, sex, kids. The prenup could be a man's weapon too, though. If you're in that space, that's supposed to protect everybody. But right, go to James. Just dealing with this decision making using logic. Go to James chapter 1:19. Read that.
James chapter 1 verse 19.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, my beloved brethren,
Right.
let every man be swift to hear.
That's what he's doing. He's setting his mind aright. So he's trying to be swift to hear. Go ahead.
Slow to speak.
Come on.
Slow to wrath.
Right, because the faster we try to counter an argument, the more wrathful it can get. Because you missed the part where, hey, we're not enemies. You missed the thing that you were supposed to hear because you just wanted to fight. You just wanted to rebuttal, and now we just arguing. But a man of wisdom, this type of man that you want, what is he doing? He's just listening. He's falling back. He's listening to everything that's being said. He's calculating the words. He's saying, okay, I understand that. I don't understand that. Let me interject here real quick. No, I'm talking. But you've just been talking for 30 minutes. Let me interject real quick without having to remember everything you about to say. Without having to argue. Without having to fight. Let me say this without us having to get into a knockdown argument. Because then things start to be wrathful. Think about it. A lot of us come from wrathful relationships. You came from that relationship where it was toxic, right? Where it was yelling, screaming, back and forth. Some of us come from physical altercations in relationship. Why would you seek that in an Israelite relationship? Why would you look for that? Well, Qatazap, I'm not looking for that, but you are. Because you're misunderstanding what type of man you're trying to get. He's not trying to go back and forth to get to the point of wrath, but you keep taking it there. You don't know when to shut up. So what does that mean for this type of woman? She got to know when to shut up and just leave it alone. You got to know not to push the buttons. Now, does that mean because I'm telling you to shut up, does that mean that I'm saying don't ever speak ever and just be a mute? No, I'm saying you got to know the moment. You got to have discretion. And you got to see, oh, you know what? Damn. I'm trying to get the last word. He's trying to get the last word. Let me just let him have the last word. Let me show my humility as a sister, as a woman, as a wife. Remember the first scripture we went to, 1 Peter's? Submit. Let me, you know what? You know what? There's no need for me to go back and forth. Because while I'm going back and forth, I'm missing everything that he's saying anyway. I'm not even getting it. Let me slow down, pause my brain, internalize what he's saying, and then we can possibly have the conversation later when cooler heads prevail. Or I can just keep trying to drag him into a situation that I'm used to, right? Some of y'all are used to violence. Some of y'all strive to argue. Some of y'all strive in those toxic situations, right? You love it. You wake up to, if it's not toxic, it's not right. That's crazy. Me? Hell nah. I don't, bruh. I just want it as peaceful as possible. I don't mind a good back and forth though. As long as, I don't mind a good back and forth, as long as we know we're not enemies. But I could have a conversation where we disagree, and I want to see your disagreements. Me and my rib do it all the time. We do it all the time. She don't never agree with me. She don't never, yeah. So, but we ain't enemies. Yeah, and you know what I mean when I say that, right? It's not that she don't never agree with nothing, but she, you know, I like Saratoga water. Well, I like natural spring, and I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Saratoga's better. No, this one's better because I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I think this one is better because da 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 da. Cool. Well, we ain't enemies, right? We ain't enemies. As long as we know we ain't enemies, but some people, some women, because of the culture that you're raised in, you're raised to be a toxic person towards that man that's trying to keep his cool. So as a woman looking for an Israelite man, what do you have to learn? When to shut up. Just plain and simple. When to cut off the argument. When to stop. When to know when it's going too far. That's it. When to stop arguing. You got to know these things. You got to be able to look at the situation and say, damn, okay, now it's starting to get disrespectful. Let me not be disrespectful. He ain't disrespecting me. Why am I disrespecting him? Right? What they say? Nah, Cat. See, she just disagreed. She just literally did it. Live example. I say she don't. She say she do. Live example. Live example. See, I love live examples. And all I'm gonna do is just keep on teaching. Right? So remember, this man, because he's trying to use logic in his decision making, he's trying to avoid wrathful situations. He's trying to avoid the toxic situations. So you, as a young sister, or as a sister that's trying to be married, be in these situations, you got to get the toxicity up out of you. You got to recognize that, wait a minute, if I get with this man, am I going to be the one bringing in the negative? Am I going to be the shame? When man, how's the wife? Bruh. Hey, how's everything at the crib? And he just sighs bitterly. Is that what it's going to be? He look at the brothers and shake his head and sighs bitterly? Or is he going to be like, shh, man, the Most High bless me. Rakata Yahweh, because, man, I know she ain't got it all together, but damn, man, she trying to hold it down. Right? Is his first inclination when you're brought up to cringe? Or is it to praise you? That really is determined on you. If you do recognize that you have those levels of toxic traits in you where you can be a contentious sister, where you can be a contentious woman, then you would have to really sit down with yourself and say, well, damn, man, Israelite men are taught not to be contentious. We're taught not to strive, especially not with our women. But we're taught not to be contentious with anybody. So what am I doing as a woman? What am I promoting? And then how does that trickle down if we have children? How does that trickle down into how I carry myself in the body? All these things have to be calculated before you just, you know what? Brand new wife, brand new husband, right? That's my right? Go from there. Where we at?
I just finished James chapter 1, verse 19.
Right. Go read verse 20.
Verse 20. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God.
Yeah, it's what righteousness are we trying to promote? God's or our own? Whose righteousness are we trying to put on the pedestal inside of our relationship? Who are we trying to reflect? See, and that's what it goes back to is, what am I in this relationship for? Why do I want this Israelite man? Go get a nigga in the world. That's it. Just go get a man in the world. So you can, if you are this toxic, negative, whatever, there's somebody out there for you that'll just he'll match that energy. It's a Pop Smoke for everybody, right? It's a Chad for everybody. There's a Pookie and a Ray Ray for everybody.
Man.
Right? You don't have to now be with this type of man and then, because it usually ends bad though. Like the Most High start getting involved, and then he start doing things, and then he start making things happen in people's lives, and it's like, dang, dude, like I should have just never did it. Should have just went into the world. Same thing for brothers. It's like, what you messing with that sister for? She's trying to learn. She's trying to get her thing together. What you trying to be with her for? you ain't trying to do a damn thing. Go get you some damn woman in the world that you can play with, instead of trying to destroy a sister on her path. Because it don't really end well for those type of people. So again, this is a class more for everyone to sit back and take account of themselves and say, what's my part in this? Am I this type of woman? Am I this type of man? Do I fit these parameters? Because you don't have to. You don't have to fit the negative parts of it. Now, I'm not saying that anybody does. Remember, what's the title of the class? What's the title of the class? Marrying an Israelite man? Watch this first. That's all I'm saying. If you plan on in any time in life, you know what? I want me an Israelite man. Because sisters be saying, I want me an Israelite man. They say it with yes, proud, like, yeah, I want me an Israelite man. Like, wait, hold up, sis. No, you a little bit more high pitched. I want an Israelite man. Right? And they be cheerleading. Yasha-Allah. They be they be ready for that man, and they get him, and it's like, dang, I didn't know it was gonna be like this. Right? And he ain't beating on you, he ain't doing any of that. He just said, here, look, Bible, structure, order, not gonna be your way all the time. Deal with it. You gotta know what you're signing up for. Go to Proverbs. Go to Proverbs 2 and 10. And again, it just goes back to what? It goes back to wisdom. Again, the decision making is embedded in the wisdom that he has learned through his studies, through the Most High, through being around good people, the brothers, the body. That's what his decision making is trying to come from, his logic, right? From other men's experience, right? So read Proverbs 2 and 10.
Proverbs chapter 2, verse 10. When wisdom enters into thine heart,
right,
and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul,
go ahead.
Discretion shall preserve thee.
Go ahead.
Understanding shall keep thee.
Yeah, why am I going here? Well, because in the decision making that's being made, that's a double make. In this decision making, well, what is he using to protect both of you? Discretion and discernment. That's it. That's why it can't be hasty. That's why it can't be emotional. A lot of the times you see those emotional decisions, they harm the person making it and the people around them. And again, there's no sister in her right mind that is going to attach herself to a man that is moving emotionally and then making bad decisions in his emotions. You're going to run. You're going to run. You might get caught up in that for a little bit because it was fun and it was exciting. But after a while, you're going to look and say, well, damn, you keep doing that and it keep affecting me. I got to move around. So in that same respect, you can't be upset now when the Most High literally makes that a part of this man that you're trying to be with. That's like baked in. It's baked in to this man. That wait, we're gonna make decisions the proper way. Well, I think we should do this. You know what? Hold that thought. Let me see what the brothers think. Why you gotta get the brothers in there? Well, hold up. What you mean why? The Bible says in multitude of counsels there's safety. What you mean why? Because I'm thinking, you're thinking, but then I know there's something I might be missing. Let me see what the brothers think. See, that scares a lot of sisters, but that's what you're signing up for. You're signing up for community. You're signing up for a community, a hive mind. You're not signing up for, oh, that's my man and he's my plaything and it's just me and him against the world. No, it's you, him, the body that he's with. Y'all are all against the world. It's not just you and him. Again, you're taught to romanticize relationships in the way of this is just you and him and it's just y'all. Yeah, there's certain parts of it where it's just you and him. then there's certain parts of it where he's part of a community, and there is no y'all, it's we. It's a we thing. Certain decisions have to be a we thing because of who they affect. And that is something that sisters, married or unmarried, you have to understand that about a brother, your husband, who is a part of a body. Again, he's making decisions and he's part of the body and he's committed. You have to really you gotta really rock and understand that, damn, if we make this decision, who is it gonna affect? And so he's not just gonna be quick to make a decision because you think it's a good idea or because you feel a certain way about it. He might have to check first. He might have to, man, hey, we were talking about doing and I'm waiting for what you think. Well, he might get some wisdom, and then guess what? Now it's up to him and his discretion to follow that wisdom, right? Or to take that wisdom or to take that advice. It's up to him. We don't make decisions for nobody, but understand what you're signing up for when you say you want this type of man. He's a community person. Now, is everything that y'all are doing got to be on display to the brother? No. But depending on the type of brother you got, the type of man you're with. For some men, everything is there's nothing that's like hidden. I could say me and Shaddad, we have a really great relationship. I'm doing this like here. We got a real good relationship and we talk. And so, I've known Shaddad for a while, right? And I've seen Shaddad in some of the worst moments, best moments. Like, so when we talk, we just flow with it, right? It ain't like, hey, I got this secret to tell you. When he does that to me, sometimes he'll do that, man, I got a secret. Or I got something to tell you. And I'm like, the hell are you talking about, bro? Just talk to me. Don't tell me you got something to tell me. Just rap to me, right? But the point that I'm making is we can just rap about things, right? He can come to me honestly and be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. If it's a wrong thought, correct me. And I'm like, yeah, that was wrong. You shouldn't think like that. And let me show you why. And he's like, and I'm like, all right, you good? Or you need more? And he's like, no, I'm good. I get it. We can do that. Right? If things is going on at the house, the kid, like we talk about it because while he's sharing information, I'm also sharing information. We're open books because we understand the value in having someone in your corner outside of the two people that are knee deep in the situation. When we both deep in it, we're not looking at it from a proper perspective all the time. So you might need an outside party to say, hey, y'all messing up over there. Hey, y'all see what y'all doing to each other? No, we didn't see it. Well, y'all ain't doing that right. Or, you know what? Y'all are actually doing good. We are? Hell yeah. I've been looking, I've been watching it. It's nothing wrong with it, right? Safety in the multitude of counsel. But see, read that Proverbs 2:10 one more time. And then I'm going to go to one more scripture, and then we're just going to do a part 7. Go ahead.
Proverbs 2, verse 10.
Right.
When wisdom entereth into thine heart.
See, you only value counsel and community and this type of man when wisdom enters into your heart. You only see the value in this when you look at that man for more than just his look. When you can see the wisdom, because when he does things wisely and then they work on your benefit and you have peace and you have peace of mind and you have things that a lot of women don't got, right? Because they lie on social media and act like they're happy, but deep down they're not, because they're not being fulfilled spiritually. When you allow wisdom to enter that way, go ahead.
And knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul.
See, when knowledge becomes pleasant, when knowing something, even if it's a hard truth, well, at least I know now. When that becomes pleasant to you, right? Like when you read Ecclesiastes 6, when that trial of wisdom lay on you, that stone, but when it becomes these glorious robes, when you go through the trial of her trying you and testing you, and you come out on top, damn, I get it now. there's a different mind state that you're gonna be in towards this type of man, and he's gonna be in a different mindset, and then you're gonna understand why he operates the way he operates. But it only happens if wisdom entereth. So watch this. It says, when wisdom entereth. When wisdom entereth. What stops wisdom from entering? What stops wisdom from entering? We go here all the time. What? Maliciousness. Being malicious. Having that negative in you that's blocking wisdom. So it's going to be hard for you to see what he's doing if you're looking at things in a skewed mind or a skewed lens. You're not going to be able to see it. Question: I did something unlawful. What's the consequence and recovery? Well, I mean, that's kind of just off the cuff, but the consequence, I mean, the scriptures just threw me off with that one. You did something unlawful, well, now you gotta repent, right? You owned up, you did something lawful. Now you gotta repent, right? Now you gotta develop the godly sorrows to not continue to doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You like, oh, right, yeah, eating pork and smoking cigarettes. That's the consequence. Listen, I don't know what your consequences is gonna be. That's up to the Most High. But it could be a slew of different things. You might be suffering the consequences now. Right? But my thing would be stop doing the thing to bring on consequence. Right? But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, you gotta stop eating that pork and smoking the Lucy's. I get it. Do it. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I get it, man, but gotta fight. You gotta fight. Right? And if you're recognizing that it's a hard-headedness, then you gotta do something else outside your norm. Stop being hard-headed and do something outside your norm to get that sin up off you. You gotta repent, you gotta stop, you gotta develop godly sorrow, you gotta hate it, you gotta hate the pork. You gotta hate the swine, brother. Right? You gotta not like it. That's the thing, that's the first thing. You gotta find the reason why it's hateful. You gotta find a reason to hate the sin. Most High said it's abominable. You gotta love the Most High enough to hate pork. But see, even right here, we here. When wisdom entereth and knowledge is pleasant, then guess what? You're gonna have enough discretion to avoid pork. You're gonna have that discretion, right? And you're gonna be kept. You ain't gotta worry about the check or the chastisement. Like it says in Hebrew, a certain fearful looking for fiery judgment and indignation that trampled over the blood of Christ. You don't want to be looking for that. So I would advise clean that up. You weed smokers out there, your cigarette tokers, your pork, shrimp, crab eaters, you got to put it down. Stop going to those places. Maybe go on a fast, cut the fast food, stop purchasing it at your local deli, whatever. Try to find where you can cut that off before you even put it to your mouth or have it in your house, right? So let's go to one last scripture and then we'll end it. And remember, we went to Ecclesiastes 2:2. He said, set thy heart aright. So decision making with a set heart, like we have to be able to live with when a person's mind is set and is set the right way, that when they make a decision, that's the decision. You have to be able to live with that. Especially you sisters, when your husband sets his mind and he's able to give you his wisdom, you got to be able to ride with his decision. Why? Well, what is he doing that he's justified in his decision making? Right? What is he doing? What is he seeing? The likelihood of, because we're dealing with this topic, the likelihood of this woman that's getting married to this man, that she's more experienced than him in Israelite situations and biblical, it's low. More than likely, this man is a man that's in the body, he's moving around, he knows what's going on, he's been dealing with situations. So you would have to yield to him anyway. just off the fact of his experience.
Okay.
That he's committed to a job. Right? Go to Proverbs 16:3. Right? If he's already used to making decisions in the proper way, in the proper manner, then you can't start second questioning now. Right? Just understand that he's used to doing this. This is what he do. Some of us are good at a lot of different things, and some of us aren't good at everything. I'm not good at everything that my rib is good at. She's not good at everything I'm good at. It's just how it is. But if because I know a few scriptures that all of a sudden I'm on this level, well then wait, we got some things to talk about, because knowing a few scriptures don't put you on any level. It's not just the scriptures you have to know, it's how to handle the situations with the scriptures, where that takes a lot of experience and your senses have to be exercised. Having your senses exercised does not mean because you read the Bible or because you sat here for a few years. No, you'd have to go through situations and have a track record of making decisions and using the Bible as the tool and having success. Proverbs 16:3.
Proverbs 16, verse 3.
Like, one thing that we got to stop doing is trying to match logics. You young sisters got to stop trying to match logics with your husband. And just women, like sisters in general, got to stop doing it. Especially when it comes to like biblical stuff. Stop trying to match your logic with his in a way of, well, I'm better than you. If you're trying to match up to make sure that y'all walk in lockstep, cool. But if it's like a back and forth, and we fighting over just stupid little things, well, don't do that, because his experience outweighs yours. Some brothers been doing this when their ribs was in high school. It's just the truth. You was young. You a babe. So you gotta accept that. What's happening? I'm not trying to be explicit or anything, but being with a person, people who are together do those things. Wait. That's why I was wondering. Sorry, not trying to be gross. Right? I don't even understand. Wait, what? Is going. Oh, right. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be doing that. Yes, you don't want to be doing that. Read that.
Proverbs 16, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Commit thy works unto the Lord,
Go ahead.
and thy thoughts shall be established.
Right, and that's the point, is where are the works being committed, right? If you got this man who's committing his works to the Lord, then his mind is going to be established through those works. He's not going to be looking to do other things. You're not going to be looking to eat pork. You got to commit, right? So I'm using the scripture now to deal with Stephanos and his questions, but also still teaching the class. The more work I put in for the Most High, the less sin I commit, right? The less I give in to my inordinate affections, my lusts, and those different things. But brothers got to find some level of commitment, right? I got to commit more to being in class online if I'm far away, or go find you a school to sit up under with some brothers that's going to hold you accountable, right? If you a sister, again, that's trying to get married or looking at a man that you like, well, where's his commitment level? Is he halfway? Is he halfway shook? Right? Is he halfway in there, halfway out? Is he tiptoeing around a commitment? Because really, you're going to see his thought process through his commitment. Where is his mind? Now, if he's 10 toes down all the way in there, you can't come down and try to use his commitments against him. Like, well, all you care about is the camp and the brothers. Well, you knew that when you got with him, because you saw his commitment. You saw his commitment. So ain't that why you got with him? Because I got with you because you love the Lord. Okay, so then don't come later down the line talking about you put the camp before me. Hey. Because even that's not a true statement. But you knew what you got with him for. You knew the attributes. You saw his commitment to his craft, don't fault him for that. Right? So we're gonna pause it on that scripture, because then I got other points. Right? I got other points. So, throw my number in the chat for Stephanos, because he needs it. Yeah, he needs it. Yeah, we're gonna put my number in the chat for you, so you can text. You can text me, so we can raffle out some things. Just remember. I'm gonna say this, and I know y'all ain't trying to be vulgar or anything like that. But just remember one thing. This is a public forum, and so when you chat and the things that you say, you're displaying yourself in the public. You're putting yourself out there in the public for people to see and people to judge. And so, you got to be careful how we want to be careful how we carry ourselves in these chats, in these rooms, the different comments. You just want to be careful. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that y'all can't comment. We definitely appreciate the interactions, but it's a bunch of strangers inside these chats, and you just don't want to rub anybody the wrong way, but you don't want to give a perception of yourself that's not true. All right, so yeah, you put my number?
All right.
It won't let you know.
I did.
Oh, okay, yeah. Stephanos, if you need to hit me up, just text me. So we can wrap. Yeah, what we'll do, it's 9:15, and I got a lot more. We'll part 2 this for next week, and then, like I said, I wanted to do the opposite end for the brothers, right? So we'll try to part 2 this and get through it, and then we'll talk to the brothers next. All right. So hopefully y'all are enjoying the class. We appreciate y'all. Hey, real quick, VA, Virginia is going to go live for class on Saturday. All right, Virginia is going to go live on class on Saturday, so look out for that. We usually start at 10 on Saturday. They start a little bit later. So we are having Saturday class on Saturday. It's just going to be live from Virginia. Okay, so just want to say that. With that, we're going to say shalom.
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 With that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.